nominations. So if we have at least 3 individuals to present their nominations for moderator, that would be wonderful.
I nominate Terry Hayes.
We have a nomination for Terry Hayes. I need 3 written nominations. Ballots, that is. Cool. Thank you.
Come on, Terry.
Okay, do we have any other nominations? Yes. We have,
Second.
all right, we are closing nominations.
I'm going to step on your feet a lot. Okay, I'll move back. I got a good one. That works. How you doing, Terry?
Easiest election going, moderator.
This is
Nobody
moderator.
Nobody else ever wants to do it.
Madam Moderator. Timing is essential, they say. No, it's so difficult to save the I went up the hill about 2:30 to take a quick break and let my dog go swimming. And I was with my helpers.
Okay, we have 4 votes for Terry Hayes.
Yes.
Terry, thank you so much for being willing to do this for us this evening.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
She's doing well. She's training well. Looking smart.
Good evening. If you just give me a minute, I have to swear myself in.
Please respect. So, results are always good when you have enough time.
I, Teresa Hayes, do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, so long as I shall continue a citizen thereof, so help me God. I, Teresa Hayes, do swear that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my abilities the duties incumbent upon me as moderator of this meeting, according to the Constitution and laws of the state, so
I
help me
left it
God.
off tonight. Yeah.
So I want to start with a question. Well, this will be a good one for you folks out back. How many of you were at your first town meeting? What about, yay, look at that. Thanks for coming out. Now everybody else that didn't raise their hand, it's your job to show them how this is done. Right? Do you remember what the top part of your job description is while we're here tonight?
Civility.
Civility, absolutely, Susan. That's a good way of looking at it. Basically, what I need you to do is to listen respectfully until it is your turn to talk, and then I want you to speak respectfully, excuse me. Has anybody noticed it's hot out? So it's a lot of pressure. Anybody up back who's still looking for a place to sit? Okay, so unless there's an objection, I plan to use the main moderator manual as a backup if we should have any procedural questions. If there are no objections, there's no objections, then that's done. I really do trust you. Each of you, as you came in and were checked off by the registrar, you have a card with your name on it. Do you know what to do with those? Well, I have to ask, yep. So, Ms. Haxton, if you want to speak, you hold it up. Try to hold it up upright and facing me. It really helps, okay? Mrs. Norton, I could see yours. Thank you, thank you. Who's got a card over there? Hold it up, because my, okay, I got Mr. Litchfield. Mr. Litchfield, yours was upside down. You might want to work on that. And, okay, I can read them, which is really helpful. Okay, so we're going to go through things one at a time. When several of you want to speak, I will write your names down, and I'll probably nod at you, so you remember who Horseshack is? Anybody? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yep.
You don't need to do that, okay? If you put your hand up and I look at Mr. Litchfield and I say like this, then he knows that I'm going to call on him in the order that I saw him, okay? And we're all going to listen respectfully. And how are you going to know it's your turn to talk? I'm going to tell you. And if I didn't tell you, it's your turn. Okay? So, but you will have a turn. That's the expectation here. So, you have a copy of the warrant, which is our agenda for the evening. We're going to move to Article number 2. To see if the town will authorize the select persons to set the tax due date with interest of 7.5% yearly to be charged on unpaid taxes beginning Sunday, February 1st, 2026. Is there a motion on Article number 2? Thank you. Is there a second? Mr. Chapman, is that a second?
And it's not, just before we get started,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make a motion that we allow Diane to answer questions that arise as well.
Mr. Chapman told me he wanted to do this, and I totally spaced it. Because Diane is not a resident of the town, before we take up Article 2, I would entertain a motion to allow her to speak by providing information as requested from the residents as your town employee. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed. So, Diane, as need be, you are likely to be providing some information for the crowd. Okay? Joel, thank you for interrupting me. All right. So we have a motion and a second on Article number 2 as I had read it. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article number 2, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 2 carries. Article 3, to see if the town will vote to set the interest rate to be paid by the town on abated taxes at 3.5% for the fiscal year of July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026. Is there a motion on Article number 3?
So moved.
Thank you. Article number 3 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article number 3, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 3 carries. Article 4, to see if the town will vote to appropriate the sum of $478,000 from anticipated revenues and the general fund to decrease the 2025-2026 tax commitment. This is recommended by the Select Persons and Budget Committee, with anticipated revenue estimated at $303,000 and the general fund at $175,000 for a total of $478,000. Is there a motion on Article 4?
The most recommended amounts.
Thank you. The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article number 4. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article number 4, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 4 carries. Article 5, to elect all necessary officers as are required to be elected by written ballot. It was requested before the meeting that prior to taking your ballot, that it might be helpful for the candidates that are listed if they each had a couple of minutes, that they could speak to their candidacy, which we can do. There's also an opportunity, and I'll look at each of these positions one at a time, for there to be nominations from the floor. So, there is one of the select persons is three So I have a copy, a voided copy of the ballot, but I'm going to use that to structure what we're going to do at this point. There's a select person, assessor, and overseer of the poor for a 3-year term. Jesse Wallingford is listed, and there is room for a write-in if anybody else is nominated. There's a select person, assessor, overseer of the poor for a 1-year term, and Jeffrey, I think it's Cohn. Okay, thank you. Is listed, and there's room for a write-in. And then there's the RSU 10 school board representative. This is a 3-year term. Kristen Chapman is a candidate. Sandy Williams is a candidate. And again, there is room for a write-in if there's somebody else that's nominated or chooses to run. So if I just read your name, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. So I'm going to start with Mr. Wallingford.
You want me to use the mic? Or
I want to know if you can't hear him.
can you hear me? Can everyone hear me just fine? So I'm running for re-election, and I just thank you for the opportunity is all I have to say. Thank you very much.
I don't see any hands, so I'm going to assume there are no nominations for this. I'm sorry, Mark.
I have a question. Is Jeffrey Coon here?
I'm working my way down, but I haven't got there yet. You're ahead of me. Slow down, Lauren.
Apologies.
I was just making sure that I wasn't omitting anyone that wanted to offer a nomination for the 3-year term. So Jeffrey Coon. Jeffrey, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, everybody. For those that don't know me, I'm Jeffrey Coon. For the last 2 years, I've served on the planning board, and this past year I've worked as the chair of the planning board. I recently retired from the military after 21 years, and I enlisted when I was 17 years old, shortly there following the terrorist attacks of 9/11. And while in the service, I met my wife, Elizabeth, who actually works here at Sumner Elementary School. When we were dating, I told her that I wanted to go back home to Maine and have a farm. And it took us about 12 years crisscrossing all the roads in western Maine looking for a place. And the place that kept coming up over and over again was Sun. We moved here 4 years now. We came with 1 daughter. We now have 3, Maggie, Emma, and Mary. We love living here. And I also serve the community as a volunteer driver for the food bank here in Sumner, and has recently volunteered as a neighborhood assistant to the emergency management program. So look forward to working for the town in the coming years, and respectfully request your consideration for the position of select.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the position of the select person, assessor, overseer of the poor for the 1-year term? Seeing no hands, we'll move on. The RSU 10 school board representative, Kristen Chapman, would you like to speak?
Good evening. My name is Kristen Chapman, and for the last almost year and a half, I have served on the RSU 10 board, who's out of Sumner, after my husband Joel was elected to the select board, and the seat remained open for 6 months or so. I grew up in Rumford. I actually graduated from Mountain Valley High School, ironically. I tend to really have an understanding for what's going on up in the Valley region. In fact, for the last 2 years of my high school time there, we were merged with the town of Mexico. So now to see it as big as it is, I can understand some of the challenges there. I had to think long and hard about whether I wanted to take out my nomination papers, and Diane can attest that she texted me that the nomination papers were in. Well, I think 2 weeks went by before I came in, but it's been a really long year and a half. We faced a lot of challenges this past year with the school closing due to mold and trying to get kids back into in-person learning. So it really was quite a feat. We had a lot that we had to handle there. So once I did decide, though, I'm all in for the next 3 years, if that is what it takes. I would like to represent not only the students of RSU 10, but as a board member, I also feel it is my duty to represent the citizenry, particularly those who are paying taxes. Although everyone has a voice, if you have children in districts, it's absolutely imperative for families to be heard, but as well as the staff. This past year, we did have a grievance that came before the board, and there were a lot of staff who've been injured on the job. So this year, we really did speak on behalf of all three. So I know there's a lot of talk about an ad hoc committee being put together as people are grumbling and talking about maybe becoming their own district here once again. And I didn't live here during that time. I moved away, found that guy, brought him back. Anyhow, I felt that if that is something that the citizenry here is really serious about pursuing, then I felt that I needed to be able to be a good person, a liaison to interact back and forth with the administration of the school to facilitate as fast communication as possible. So, feel free to ask me any questions. I have made myself available, usually attending most of the select board meetings if I can, if my husband's in town. And so I'm available for people to come and chat with me. So if you agree that I've been representing all three very well, then please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Sandy Williams.
May I use your podium?
You want the microphone?
Yeah, microphone, yeah.
Just stand close.
Okay.
That's what I've done.
Yeah, this isn't designed for small.
I would say
Short.
Vertically challenged.
Vertical challenge. So good evening, my name is Sandy Williams, and I'm hoping to represent this community at the school board. A relative newcomer. I've only lived here for about 2 years, but it was my goal to retire in a rural community such as this. I have a professional background both in law and in ministry. I'm a retired real estate attorney, and I'm currently the children's minister at my church. I have a unique perspective. I was a homeschooling parent, and homeschooling was a wonderful experience for my family. But I understand that it is not for every family, and it is not possible for every family. And as a school board member, I would be uniquely placed to be an advocate for homeschoolers, but I also feel strongly that a strong public school creates a future strong country. Speaking to people as I was going through this process, I met people who had two concerns. One was the building, and the second was the school budget. The state of the building, of course, any of the school buildings affects the children who attend those schools. But the rising cost to us as the taxpayers is as much a concern. My own tax bill last year far exceeded my Social Security cost of living increase. And I don't know personally, and I think a lot of you are in the same situation, I don't know how many of those hits we can take. So I assure you that as a school board member, I would have a personal interest to ensure that we are getting the best educational bang for our tax bucks. I'm also aware of the desires of many Sumner residents to withdraw from RSU 10, and I don't necessarily have an opinion about that, but I think I could bring a fresh set of eyes to the problem, as well as a legal background that could help to navigate that process fairly efficiently. And finally, I've heard some people say that as Sumner has only one school board member, the needs of our town tend to get drowned out by the voices of the towns that have greater representation. Well, I assure you that in law school, one of the things they teach you is to have a very loud voice. And I know how to represent people fully and passionately. And I offer you those skills to make sure that the issues that this community is concerned about are heard and fully represented. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking to see if there are any additional nominations for the RSU 10 three-year term. Seeing no hands. This is the way this is going to work. Those of you who are here for the first time, they're going to show you how we do this. You line up in front of the two ballot clerks here. You're doing the first part of the alphabet on your left and the second part on your right. You'll be checked off. You'll get your ballot. You can mark your ballot and put it in the ballot box. And we're gonna use our indoor voices while we're doing this, just so we can keep the noise level down a bit. Okay? Seeing no other hands, you're all set? Thank you. Then the voting is open. Come forward and get your ballots, please. Have your attention, please. Thank you very much. Thank you for waiting for the clerks to be able to count. Mary? Can't hear you. So the outcome, I'll use the microphone, I forgot about that. For Mr. Wallingford, there were 74 votes. There were 2 blank ballots for a total of 76 votes. For Mr. Wallingford, will continue on the select board for a 3-year term. Mr. Kuhn received 72 votes. There were 4 blanks. Mr. Kuhn will join the select board. And Ms. Chapman received 59 votes with 1 vote, and Sandy 16 votes. So thank you all for running, and for those of you who voted to choose among those candidates. We're going to continue on now with Article number 6. To see if the town will authorize the tax collector to accept tax payments prior to commitment. This is recommended by the select persons in the budget committee. Is there a motion on Article 6?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Article 6 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 6, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 6 carries. Article 7, to see if the town will authorize the select persons to appoint a maintenance supervisor, animal control officer, a budget committee, a planning board, an appeals board, a fire chief and assistants, a registrar of voters, a recreation committee, a scholarship committee, a roads committee, an ordinances committee, an emergency management director, and any other necessary appointees. Is there a motion on Article number 11? Thank you. Article number 7 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article number 7, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article number 7 carries. Article 8. To see if the town will authorize the select persons to dispose of town-owned personal property with a dollar value of up to $1,000 under such terms and conditions as they deem advisable. This is recommended by select persons in the budget committee. Is there a motion on Article 8? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Article 8 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article number 8, please raise your hands, people up. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. Article number 9. To see if the town will vote to accept state funds from tree growth reimbursement, veterans exemption, municipal revenue sharing, snowmobile registration reimbursement, EMA, state aid to education, general assistance reimbursement, local road assistance program, DEP grants, forest fire suppression reimbursement, and any other state or federal funds appropriated by the legislature for municipal purposes. This is recommended by select persons and the Budget Committee. Is there a motion on Article number 9? Thank you. Article number 9 has been moved and seconded. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article number 9, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article number 9 carries. Article 10. To see if the town will vote to apply revenues from excise taxes, interest, state reimbursement, state agent fees, sale of photocopies, and other revenues not required to be applied elsewhere by statute or town vote to the general fund. Is there a motion? This is recommended by the select persons in the Budget Committee. Is there a motion on Article number 10? Thank you. Article number 10 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article number 10, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. See how easy this is? I just keep saying the same old things. Piece of cake. Article 11. To see if the town will vote to appropriate all monies received from the state, from the registration of snowmobiles to the Knocktown Snowmobile Club for the purpose of maintaining the snowmobile trails to be open for use by the public at all times, and to authorize the municipal officers to enter into agreement with the club under such terms and conditions as the municipal officers may deem advisable for that purpose. This is recommended by the select persons and the Budget Committee. Is there a motion on Article 11? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Article 11 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Ms. Norton.
Does the snowmobile club receive enough money from the registrations to actually maintain the trails? Or do they do fundraising?
Did everyone hear the question? Does the snowmobile club receive enough funding to actually maintain trails? Is there someone who could provide an answer? It's a good question, Mrs. Norton, but we don't have an answer in the room. Thank you. Anyone else with comments or questions regarding the motion on Article 11? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article number 11, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article number 11 carries. Article 12. To see if the town will vote to authorize the select persons to spend an amount not to exceed 3/12 of the budgeted amount in each budget category during the period from July 1, 2026 to September 30, 2026, same year, July to September of next year. This is recommended by select persons and the Budget Committee. Is there a motion on Article number 12? Thank you. Is there a second? Article number 12 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Mark.
I have a question.
Mark, if it's possible to stand and use your outdoor voice, that would be helpful. Mr. Silbert.
I have a question because the fiscal year now is to July 1st, as opposed to September. So I wanted to know whether this particular article is relevant.
Why don't we see if there's an answer to that question? Because the fiscal year ends on June 30, Mr. Silver's question is this article still relevant looking forward to next summer?
So it's a contingency in case the town meeting were to get postponed, or if the budget didn't get passed, and then.
I want to make sure everybody can hear Diane.
So it's basically just a contingency, so that if we were not to have a town meeting at the right time, or if the budget were not to pass at the town meeting, if we had to go into the fiscal year, that way things wouldn't just have to come to scrutiny.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article number 12? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article number 12, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 12 carries. Article 13, to see if the town will authorize the treasurer to make payments from the general fund for abatements approved by the select persons. This is recommended by select persons and the budget committee. Is there a motion on Article 13?
So moved as read.
Second.
Article 13 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 13, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 13 carries. Article 14, to see if the town will authorize the select persons to sell and dispose of town-owned and tax-acquired property held by the town by means of the special sale process required by 36 MRS subsection 943-C for qualifying property if they choose to sell it to anyone other than the former owners and to execute quitclaim deeds for such properties. This is recommended by select persons and the budget committee. Is there a motion on Article 14? Thank you. Article 14 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 14, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 14 carries. Article 15, to see if the town will authorize the select persons to enter into 3- and 10-year contracts for services such as solid waste management, ambulance service, winter roads maintenance, cemeteries, and town lot mowing, winter and sand supply, and municipal office ballot. This is recommended by select persons and the budget committee. Is there a motion on Article 15? Thank you. Is there a second? Article 15 has been moved and seconded as read. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 15, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 15 carries. Article 16, to fix the wages or salary for the road commission for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $5,000. Is there a motion on Article 16? Are you moving the recommended amount, Mr. Wells? Thank you. Is there a second? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article 16. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 16, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. Article 17, to fix the salaries or wages of the select persons, assessors, and overseers of the court for the ensuing year. The budget committee recommends a total of $10,500, which includes $3,500 per select person. Is there a motion on Article 17? Thank you. Is there a second? Moved twice. We've been moved and seconded with the recommended amount. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 17? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 17, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 17 carries. Article 18, to see what sum of money the town will vote to authorize the select persons to raise and appropriate as they deem advisable to meet unanticipated expenses and emergencies that occur during fiscal year July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026. Select persons and budget committee recommend $2,000. Is there a motion on Article 18?
Move to recommend.
Thank you. The recommended amount has been moved. Is there a second? And seconded for Article number 18. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 18, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 18 carries. If I'm correct, and I rarely do math in public because it's embarrassing, I think we're halfway there. Just saying. Article 19, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for general assistance for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $500. Is there a motion on Article 19? The recommended amount? Yes. Please, thank you. And seconded? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article number 19. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 19, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 19 carries. Article 20, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for an emergency fund. Select persons recommend $25,000. Is there a motion on Article 20? Thank you. Is there a second? Second. The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article number 20. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article number 20, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 20 carries. Article 21. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for administration for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend a total of $362,395. Raise and appropriate $314,195, and balance is carried forward from the 2004-2025 fiscal year of $48,200. Again, for a total of recommended $362,395. Is there a motion on Article 21?
Move to recommend.
Thank you. The recommended amount has been moved. Is there a second? And then moved and seconded for Article number 21. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Ms. Norton?
It says raise and appropriate $314,195. Shouldn't we be raising and appropriating $362,395?
Again, I'm looking to Diane or the select person.
So Cindy, we have a carryover from last year of the 48,200, and if you look in the note at the very bottom, it breaks it down. So, like, we didn't pay out the IRS penalties yet that we had already appropriated, so we're carrying that money forward.
So we don't need to reappropriate it?
No, because it was already specific to an account, and that's what we're using that money for.
Thank you, Diane. Go ahead, Diane.
The handout has different numbers than the book, just so that you know that. The figures are completely off on the handout.
The audit piece was
Okay.
changed from the town.
Yes, the audit piece was changed, because
Diane, I need to ask you to stand.
I know, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Because at the time we published the book, we did not have an auditor, and we didn't know how many audits we'd be able to get done this fiscal year. We have a smaller number in there because we only estimated that we could get one, possibly two done this year, but the auditor that we hired will actually be able to get us completely caught up on our audits this year. So we increased that number.
So that's a $21,000 difference.
That's correct.
No, 25.
25.
25.
So did everybody hear the explanation? Getting caught up on the audits that had not occurred?
Correct.
They are expected to be caught up this fiscal year. Is there anyone else that has a question or a comment regarding the motion, Article 21?
Question, so what's the new total?
The new total is the 362,395.
Okay, thank you.
That Terry has.
The one that I read.
Correct.
Is everybody clear on what we're voting on? We get it different. If you're looking at the booklet, the number's a little bit higher because it's covering that additional audit cost. So the recommendation of the select persons and the budget committee in the motion is the $362,395. Anyone else who wishes to speak? I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article 21, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 21 carries. Article 22, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for protection for the ensuing year. Select persons and budget committee recommend $147,000. They wish to raise and appropriate $136,000 and carry balances forward from 2024 and 2025 fiscal year of $11,000. Is there a motion on Article 22? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article 22. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of motion on Article 22, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 22 carries. Article 23, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the support of social services for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $4,700 and the breakdown for distribution. Is there a motion on Article 23?
Move to recommend.
Thank you. Is there a second? The recommended amount is moved and seconded for Article number 23. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 23, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 23 carries. Article 24, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for winter roads for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $496,060. Again, breakdown of the three different items. Is there a motion on Article 24? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article number 24. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 24, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 24 carries. Article 25, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for summer roads, bridges, and maintenance for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $116,500. Is there a motion on Article 25?
Move to recommend.
Thank you. Is there a second? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article 25. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment. I'd like to amend that article in motion and increase the sum from $116,500 to $416,500.
I need you to yell at me because I can't hear the new number that you're looking for.
$416,500.
416,500?
Yeah.
So there's a proposed amendment that would change the dollar figure from $116,500 to $416,500. Is there a second to that proposed amendment? Mr. Chapman?
I was just wondering if you had just looked down 2 articles to Article 27.
I have.
Okay, just
I'll
making
have a
sure.
comment on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I'm looking for at the moment is if there's a second to that proposed amendment. Ma'am, I don't know your name.
Jennifer.
Jennifer, your proposed amendment fails for lack of a second.
I second it.
I can't hear you. Well, if I don't hear you, I don't know that, did you second it?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. And what is your name now?
Becky Durkee.
Thank you, Becky. So, it's Jennifer?
Yes.
Jennifer, the amendment that has been proposed will change the dollar figure to $416,500 in Article 25.
Thank you.
Jennifer, do you want to speak to your proposed amendment?
Nope, I'll wait and make another comment.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on the proposed amendment? Mr. Irving?
Can we have an explanation for the?
Sure.
Hang on a second, Jennifer. I get to decide. Yes, you can. I need you to speak loudly enough so everyone can hear you.
All the roads need help. And, this is going down into the next article, so I don't know if you want me to say it, but.
No, I need you to limit your comments to the proposed amendment, please.
Okay, just because I think that all the roads are a mess and we've neglected them for quite a while, and we need to add money to the roads and bridges.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the proposed amendment? Well, seeing no hands, I'm going to ask, Mark, you have a question or comment?
I have a question. This is for Diane. If you could possibly estimate what that amount will result in regard to tax increase?
The question was, what impact would the proposed amendment have on the tax increase for the town for the ensuing year?
So that way,
Diane, stand up.
just estimating, obviously, because I just did a quick math on my phone here, it would increase by 2 mill rates the entire, the tax burden on each person. Which roughly, if you have, say, a $150,000 property, that's about $312 increase in tax.
For just this.
Yes, for just this.
Thank you, Diane. Anyone else who wishes to speak to the proposed amendment? Seeing no hands, I'm going to ask for your vote.
She is right.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Tina Hicks.
Tina, do you want to speak?
All the roads are a mess, these back roads. They need it. I agree with her.
Okay, I'm not seeing any other hands, and I want to make sure you're heard if you wanted to speak. Then now we're going to vote on the proposed amendment. If you favor the amendment, which changes the total to $416,500, you raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you favor the amendment. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed. Thank you. The proposed amendment fails. The main motion before the body is the recommended amount of $116,500 for Article 25. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to that motion on Article 25? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 25, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed. Thank you. The motion on Article 25 carries. Article 26. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for road equipment and repair for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $5,000. Is there a motion on Article 26? Thank you. The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article 26. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Mark.
Sorry, I don't want to monopolize. My question is, has there been any movement on the charge that the town meeting asked the selectmen to do, and that is to find out what would be the impact or whether we should consider having our own town equipment?
I didn't hear the very end.
Plowing equipment. Do you mean plowing equipment? Maintaining our roads?
Last year,
Hang on just a second. I want to make sure that everybody can hear you. I have a little fan, so thank you. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to make sure that we hear your questions.
I'm sorry, can't speak loud enough, but at the last year's town meeting, there was a request from the town meeting attendees for the selectmen to explore the possibility of the town having its own equipment, and I was wondering whether there was any more exploration on that in that regard during the past fiscal year.
We did bring it to the roads committee meeting, and that they felt that it was going to be far too expensive, but that's as far as the exploration went for the winter roads.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 26? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 26, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed. Thank you. The motion on Article 26 carries. Article 27, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for road improvement projects for the ensuing year. Select Persons and Road Committee recommend $406,160 for paving the Blind Road. Is there a motion on Article 27? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article 27. Jennifer, you have the floor.
Yep, I just have a comment. You know, there's 1,000 people that live in Sumner, probably 200 that are school-age kids, so that's 800. And what is there on the Bonnie Road? 25 houses. So we're gonna pay that much to pave a road with 25 houses, and we have 700 75 other people that their roads don't get any attention because you're gonna put that much money into it. And I'm wondering if that's been out, if we've had the actual quotes, or is that just a number that we threw out to get, and say we have this much money?
So I understood the end of your comment, Jennifer, to be a question, which is the dollar figure of the $406,160 based on quotes?
Yes.
Is there someone who could answer that question, Mr. Wallingford?
Yes, so that is an actual quote, and we would be, if this does pass, we would be scheduled to start paving potentially in July or, well,
September, October.
Hang on a
September,
second.
October, sorry.
Mr. Wallingford's got the floor.
Sorry, they were correcting my dates, so I guess it's September, October. Originally, they were thinking possibly July, but, so we had 2 slots possible to make paving scheduling possible, but that is an actual accurate paving quote.
Thank you. Jennifer, you have more comment?
Yeah, so the other, I did have a comment,
Can I just point out that there is another microphone that people can use? Thank you, yes.
One second, Mr.
Yep.
Walker. Jennifer, would you step up to the microphone? I want to make sure people can hear you.
You wanted to ask about the 25 people on the road versus
Well, I guess,
everyone
I
else.
know, the other thing I wanted to ask is if we have, all this money that we can budget to paving that one road, why didn't we do it in chunks and do like a quarter this year, a quarter the next year? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to spend that much money on a road like that.
Oh,
Hang on
Actually,
a second, Mr.
sorry.
Wallingford, hang on a second. I want to make sure, you're asking a question about what didn't happen.
Well, I'm asking at why we threw that big number at and why all the other roads are falling apart, but we're gonna spend all this money on that one road. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, I understand the question now. Mr. Wallingford, you're on the floor.
So it's based on traffic use. So when you have a certain number of traffic use on a paved or a gravel road, when you get to a certain number, it costs more money to maintain a gravel road than it does to do a paved road. And rather than doing it in sections, pavement's gone up 25% every year for the last 5 years. So that means to pave that road 5 years ago, that number would be in half of what it is right now. So if we wait and do it in sections, we're not going to get that same rate. So we're not going to get we're doing 3 miles, we're getting a better rate at 3 miles than we would if we got a half mile, 3/4 of a mile, etc. They're going to cost more money to haul their equipment over here for a shorter distance. So that's how we came up with that. And I'd also, because it's going to come up, why is it ground? It's ground because Metzer was already over in Buckfield and we got a really good deal on grinding the road. Based on our research, Bonnie Road was built to a decent spec. Prior to, there was a few boulders we had to pull out, a few culverts we got to fix. We left the hill in case it doesn't pass as a contingency. And we got a better deal. We saved 30% on grinding that road. If we were to box cut that whole road, we'd probably be looking at $700,000 to get it ready for paving. Just rough estimates, but that's the explanation anyways.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 27? Mr. Keith.
I'm looking at the budgeted amount for last year, and it looks like you overspent the budget by $80-something. Am I looking at this right?
No, we had carryover.
Nope.
And Mr. Keith, you're looking to know what the outcome was for the same, you're looking at data on the town report and trying to determine what did the current year cost.
Yeah.
And the number that you're reading is an overdraft? And I'm trying to clarify this so Diane or one of the select persons could be.
I'm not sure exactly what number you're looking at, but we have an estimated carryover of about $58,000 this year from our budget. Ballpark.
Is that
Is that for the full, hang on a second, Mr. Wallingford, I have to ask this question. Diane, is that, Diane, is that anticipated surplus the entire budget or this particular item?
This is roads budget.
Road budget, thank you.
Mr. Keith, did you get this handout when you came in today?
Yeah.
Okay, so as people were told, I don't know if the people who were here came in later on, This is actually correction for page number 57 because there was an error in how it was lined up. So are you looking at this one when you're looking at that number?
Well, I didn't have time to go over this one.
Okay.
Number 4 is what I got.
Okay, yep, so I would probably double check it on this page right here that you received.
And what page was that in the town report?
57.
So page 57 in your town report is inaccurate, but there was a handout that has the accurate numbers. Thank you. Yeah, is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 27? Mr. Murphy.
My wife Jill and I are new residents of Sumner. We've been here a couple, 3 years. We're one of the 25 families, I guess, that live on Bonnie Road. As much as we appreciate the amount of money that was saved for doing the grinding, it has caused so much dust. We can't open windows in our home. Our cars are constantly covered with dust. They said they were going to put down some calcium, possibly to help with that, but people were complaining that it was getting on their driveways or something, so they didn't do that. I've talked to Sean about it. He said, well, if the budget passes, we'll be doing it in September, October sort of time frame, but that still brings us 3 or 4 more months of living in that environment. My wife has developed a cough. We can't work outside without wearing masks. It's just something that needs to happen as soon as it possibly can. And I'd like to conclude by thanking the people that are slowing down on Bonnie Road, especially when you jump off that Buckfield line and you're doing 60 or 70 miles an hour. It stirs up so much dust that it is literally covering our house. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Phillips.
I was just wondering if anyone has looked at the relative budget of maintaining Bonnie Road as a paved road versus a gravel road, and what the life expectancy of the paved road would be.
Mr. Wallingford, you're going to...
Bill would probably have a better Bill would probably have a more accurate number for that, Bill, as far as maintaining roads that are paved and gravel.
The high traffic roads that the state has given us. Can I speak?
Oh, yes.
The high traffic roads that the state has given, that we have the traffic council in the state. The high traffic roads are the ones that we're prioritizing. So as Jesse said, Bonnie is among the most high traffic roads we have. And so the bottom line is that if you have a high traffic road, it costs more to maintain the gravel than it does to maintain the hard top. And so what we've done with the long-term plan for the roads is try to figure out which roads would appropriately be gravel and which ones would appropriately be asphalt. And that's what the long-term plan shows, about half and half in this town. Bonnie Road would be one that would be paved.
Jennifer, you have your hand up.
I just want to say, I mean, a lot of us live on dirt roads, and, you know, I guess I really don't have a thought to pavement versus dirt. I mean, I think if you take care of it, regardless.
Was it paved when you bought it?
I'm sorry, but Jennifer has the
And
floor.
I'm not complaining about not having the paved. Thank you. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there.
Jennifer, I don't want to interrupt you, but I wasn't sure if you were finished.
No, I just wanted to make a comment that probably half the people in this town live on dirt roads.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 27? Mr. Silver.
I just wanted to point out that there used to be a lot of gravel in the town of Sumner. There is no more gravel in the town of Sumner. So it has to be reported. So it's a, you know, it's a limited resource. Household road lasts a lot longer. And regular road, gravel road, wear out. They constantly need to be replenished and driven home. So there's, as Mr. Wallingford pointed out, it's a big trade-off. It's constantly a big trade-off. So the kind of decisions, the kind of decisions that we have to make are long-term decisions. Instead of pointing out that I only live on this road, so the other road shouldn't be paved. Or I live on this road, so this road should be paved and the other one should be paved. because that way, before we take 2 years, it's going to be exactly the same way as we are now.
In hearing the discussion and not being involved in the roads committee, but having knowledge that there is one and that they make a 5-year plan, I feel like the conversation is focused just on this budget this year without people knowing there's a group of people on the committee that work out those details. And I think that committee is open to other people coming in and sharing their ideas in that forum. At this point, we're $2 for 1 year, but the budget committee looks at the road committee's 5-year plan to decide each year financially with the information given in quotes and other resources to get that bond plan.
Thank you. Jennifer?
So, I mean, that is a super valid point, but, you know, we also have to think about all the roads, and you get them to the point where they're in complete disrepair, and they're gonna cost that much more to fix. So, I understand that within the budget of road committee, but I'm just.
Thank you. Mr. Keach?
Can you tell me how much pavement, how thick the pavement is, how wide the pavement's gonna be?
Is there any details
20 and
about
6,
it?
right?
We're gonna go 18, 2 inches.
18, 2 inches for the base coat, and then next year, if the budget approves, we're gonna base coat Gammon Road is the plan, and top coat Bonnie Road is the next year's plan. But for this year, it's gonna be a 2-inch base.
Thank you. I see no other hands. I'm going to ask you for your vote on the motion on Article 27. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 27 carries. Article 28. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for recreation for the ensuing year. Select persons in budget committee recommend $1,650 with an estimated balance carried forward from 2024-2025 fiscal year of $800 and raise and appropriate $850. Is there a motion on Article 28? Thank you. The recommended amounts have been moved and seconded for Article 28. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, sorry, Debbie?
Yeah, if we carried over $800 from last year, shouldn't we reduce the $1,650? What do we spend the recreation money on?
So 600 of that goes to maintaining the field that isn't currently being used. What are we, Buckfield, and then we also are supporting Buckfield Rec with the rest of the money because our kids do participate in the Buckfield recreation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? The motion on Article 28. Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 28, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 28 carries. Article 29. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate to the planning board for the ensuing year. Select persons in budget committee recommend $1,400. Is there a motion on Article 29? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article number 29. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion, Article 29, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 29 carries. Article 30, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for animal control for the 2024 overdraft and ensuing year.
Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $10,960. They recommend raise and appropriate from 2024-2025 an estimated overdraft of $1,300 and raise and appropriate from the 25-26 budget $9,660. Is there a motion on Article 30? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article number 30. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 30, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article number 30 carries. Article 31. This is to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the emergency management for the ensuing year. Is there a motion? It's been recommended, $1,500 by the Select Person and the Budget Committee. Is there a motion on Article 31? Thank you. Is there a second? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded. Mr. Warren, please, you want the floor at the beginning of this?
Yes, if I could, just for a minute. Warren, would you please stand up? So this is Warren Leitzel. He is our EMA director. He's been working diligently to prepare us for an event that could or could not happen. Hopefully never happens, but after Helene, we really needed to think about what would happen if that happened here. So, Warren, introduce yourself.
Warren Leitzel, I've lived in the town since 2019. We've asked him to help the town put together a plan, as he says, to deal with FEMA emergencies. But afterwards, come see me back here at this little map I've created, and I have a bit more about it. Get any knowledge from you that we can use, maybe to help us in one way or another. So see me afterwards. That's probably about it.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 31? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 31, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 31 carries. Article 32, see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the purchase of Memorial Day flags, care of cemeteries, mowing of the town beach, old landfill site, and the town office complex, signs and lawns. The Select Person and Budget Committee recommend $14,900. Is there a motion on Article 32? Thank you. Is there a second? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article number 32. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Yes, sir.
Where's the beach?
Where's the beach? I'm like, where's the beach when we update I can't call on you by name because you don't.
Beforehand, Labrador Pond.
Thank you. And no questions for Article 32. Go ahead, Ray.
Maybe we should put a sign there to let people know where it is.
I think there was one there at one time.
We can get another one.
Thanks, Ray. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the motion on Article 32? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion on Article 32, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 32 carries. Article 33, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the Tool Hill Road replacement bond payment. Select Persons and Budget Committee recommend $20,000 and appropriate bond interest carry forward of $1,663 and raise and appropriate $18,337. Is there a motion on Article 33? Thank you. The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article 33. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Yes, Marianne.
How many more years will we be making payment on this?
How many more years, Diane?
This is our last payment.
Now, after that, anybody else want to know? You could get applause. Any other questions or comments? I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion of Article 33, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 33 carries. Article 34, To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for solid waste operations for the ensuing year. Select persons in budget committee recommend $108,000. Is there a motion on Article 34? Thank you. Is there a second? The recommended amount has been moved and seconded in Article 34. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 34, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 34 carries. Article 35. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate to restore and protect town historical records. Select persons in budget committee recommend $4,000. Is there a motion on Article 35?
Move the recommended amount.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article 35. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the motion? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 35, please raise your hands. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 35 carries. Article 36. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate to save for the next revaluation. Select persons in budget committee recommend $10,000. Is there a motion on Article 36?
Move the recommended.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
The recommended amount has been moved and seconded for Article 36. Ms. Chapman?
Yes, I'm just wondering how much the last reval cost, and how many years are we going to be?
So it should be every 10 years, and the last one costs us $89,000.
Thank you, John.
And that's dictated by the state.
Any other questions or comments?
That's dictated by our assessors. Our assessors, J.O. Normal Associates are our assessors, and they're willing to do the evaluation.
But they dictate the timing of it?
No, the state.
So it's a 10-year cycle.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of the motion Article 36, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those opposed? Thank you. The motion on Article 36 carries. I want to remind you that the gentleman, your name again, sir, with the yellow wall cap? Thank you. Mr. Lysel will be here if anyone wants to speak about the map and the emergency management program. I thank you all for your kind attention. Second? All those in favor? I'm sorry?
He's asking for card name.
Oh, please return your name cards because you want to use them next year, okay?